Cool. Okay, so we're underway. Hey, so thanks for jumping on the call, guys, at such late notice, and I am recording so you can send this to anyone that you want. I'm just going to get straight into it. So what me and Vanessa have done, and Lisa has been working on as well, is we've created 2 new pages just because we feel it's a good time. We want to pump some fresh energy and everything like that into everything, and create a couple of new pages. And a couple of other leaders, and Josh and Sarah and Rachel and Isaac and stuff, have done the same thing. Just because we felt it was a good time to do that, and just go away. And me and Vanessa kind of wanted to make a group page where it was just our team, anyway, not massive wider team, because we feel like it's getting quite big and everything like that. And we were just going to go through all that. Now, just understand you don't. Sorry, LB, I'll just mute you. You don't have to come across onto these new pages if you don't want to. We're just giving you the absolute option of whatever you want to do. But we'll probably pull ourselves out of the other pages, and we'll just go ahead and start these new pages, just because it makes it a bit easier, I think, and just going a bit smaller and just growing it again from there, and just going over a few different things that kind of don't. And there's quite as you know, there's quite a few team in that page, in a couple of the pages that don't relate to the kind of wider team anyway, that'll be in these 2 new pages. So that's what we've done. That's what we're in the process of doing at the moment. And so we just wanted to jump on, have a quick call to show you quickly how the new pages have worked. Now, it's up to you whether you want to jump in, but it's also about being leaders and bringing people across and helping people get started into those new pages. What's that? Sorry, Krista? Do you mean the Nourish page or the Pathway Coach? Both pages, Krista. So we're going to jump out of both pages and just go into having 2 completely new pages. So one that's mainly focused around either business or sharing side of it, but we want to make it a bit different. So it's more of a place where like a real community feel, where people feel natural to share, not so much, driving training. I don't really want to, like, obviously giving people training and stuff, but not so much so that people feel overwhelmed or anything like that. Just a few tweaks and everything. But the other thing would be in the health page. We're going to set that up as a place where people who are just doing Lysogenics, who might have joined, had an account, they might have dropped off a little bit, doesn't matter, they're right to stay in. But what we've found in the other pages that we've had, I reckon there's 4,000 people on that page, and maybe 2,500 to 3,000 are actually using the products or have used the products. And there's 1,000 people that are kind of just being dumped in there and not really using the products or anything, or just watching. That's fine. That's fine if people want to sit in the page and keep watching, but as long as people are being followed up with or anything like that. Otherwise, add people in, maybe a couple of days or a week later, just having that conversation. Hey, do you want to stay on this health page, or should I take you out?
So if you guys like, there's quite a lot that we're going to say as well. If you wanted to grab a pen, if you wanted to just follow through with a pen and paper as well. But I just think this is really exciting. It's really fresh. As you can probably tell, the other pages are, especially with the other leaders going out of it, they've kind of died down a bit. And so this is just a way that, it's not Calvin and I's page, it's not Lisa's page, it's everybody's page. So, it's your own page. And so I think it's really important for everyone to really treat it like that, and to and run with it. And then I think, it's exciting, and you can bring your own character to it, your own flow, and the people that you add into it are really going to vibe vibe off that as well. So yeah, it's really exciting.
And just on that as well, one of the reasons that we want to really move aside as well is that we want to run incentives and run promotions within our team and not have that affect everyone else like it does. Like we come out with something at the moment, it would affect everyone else to do those kind of promos. So like Vanessa said, if you want to have a pen and paper, that's cool. Couple of things with promos, we're not going to, like how we've done the Wellness Squad, we're not going to make a whole new page to the Wellness Squad. We're thinking of doing like 4 promos a year and match them in with the seasons, but have that go in the one page. The reason for that was that instead of creating a whole new thing we have to add people into and having something that's different and then that page gets a lot of attention for a while and the other page doesn't, is just have people in there, new people are joining the page, but also everyone's, you might have some people in there that are your customers and they might have dropped off or whatever, but they're going to get the same amount of training that any new person would that might be starting a 30-day. So might be doing a new 30-day program or a new 9-day cleanse or a new 11-day cleanse, or your people that have been in there for 6 months or might have dropped off and not using the products. They're going to get the same training and they might spark something that they want to restart, and they're going to get the same kind of training, the same kind of attention that any new person would. So that's a major reason is incentives and promos. Incentives will all be run out of the new business page, and then promos will just kind of be run in the page at the change of season or whatnot. Did you want to cover?
Yeah, so the new titles or names that we have for these pages is the product page is going to be called the IsaLife, which we thought
people didn't come up with that earlier.
Which we thought is just easy, it's nothing lame, and it also mixes in with the app. People may think, oh, they're cool, they've got an app as well that they've made up, but yeah, it mixes in really nicely together, I think. And it's just plain and simple. It's we living the IsaLife. That's what we're doing, and it's in the title, and that's why we thought that was a really cool name.
It's calling an apple an apple. It's not calling an apple and wrapping it up and then calling it something else. It's just calling the IsaLife what it is, the IsaLife. So yeah, that was a big thing.
Yeah, and then the business page is going to be called the IsaLife Opportunity, which relates to the product page. And then like Calvin said, it's going to be a bit different. So we're going to, make it comfortable for those people that only want to share with a few people, and not want to make this a massive business that they're spending all their time on. It can be a page for the people that just want to share with their family and friends as well. And,
or create massive success.
Create that massive success. But for everybody who wants to be involved. So we've got Lisa and Calvin doing a startup video for that one. So we can add you in and you guys can check that out as well.
Yeah. Just one thing on that, guys. I think that one big thing with the community feel as well is that I don't want people to ever feel like they can't come up and talk to anyone about the business or about just sharing or whatever. And I don't want people to feel like they've placed someone on pedestal because they've been in this long. When we all hang out, we're all just the same ordinary people, and I'm no different to any of you, and Vanessa's no different to anybody. And I want everyone that comes into that page, if they've ever talked about sharing Isagenix with anyone, jump on that page, because we really want to be able to just have that great community feel around and just seeing how natural it is to share these products without the kind of, they're up here and we're down here or whatever. Or that person's doing that and that person's not doing that. I don't want that in the page, and that's kind of like a big community thing I want to grow in that. That it's just so natural to share that it doesn't have to feel like anything special, because it isn't just naturally talking about it, So that was one of the big things. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and so we were thinking having really good quality posts in the page, have really good quality photos, so people are just drawn to them. You know, I think that there's quite a lot of Facebook pages out there, so if we make our posts really thoughtful and good quality, then I think people will be more likely to follow and keep track with all the content in the pages, which is awesome. Obviously throwing huge amount of support on there, and as everyone on this team, this call right now, you know, as leaders, it's important for us to really make that first move and show that support to everybody on both pages. You know, just having 5 minutes a day to do that, and it doesn't take long.
So what are you talking about? Sorry?
Just to comment and support people on their posts. And yeah, and then when we add you guys in, feel free to add any content that has helped you on your journey or that you usually tag people in. I've added like most of the things I think people tag people in that they find is really important. So, but you know, feel free to add anything in that you guys love and that you've used throughout your journey. And you know, even adding people into the page is something that we wanted to talk about. We don't want it to be like a Nourish the Best You page and have 4,000 people in there. We really want it to be something that's intimate and that people can feel like they can post things, ask questions. So if we have you know, people in there that you've actually had a conversation to about Isagenix, and really take the lead on that with your own teams, to make that clear with your people as well, that, you know, you're not just adding anyone in there that you haven't had a conversation with. You know, these people are people that are serious about it, that, you know, are interested in Isagenix, and even if they don't get started straight away, you've followed up with them and you're keeping in contact with them.
I think it's just being diligent. It's not putting someone in there and expecting the page to do the work. It's like if you follow up within a couple of days or a week and say, hey, enjoying the page, do you want to stay in there? Someone might go, yeah, no, leave me in there. And you follow up another week later, hey, you know, or 2 weeks later and say, hey, enjoying the page, do you want to stay in the page? And it's just doing those kind of things rather than just have a whole lot of people staying in there and just not even doing anything or anything like that. But it's just being diligent around that, I guess. So
yeah. And if you're exchanging people over from the Nourish the Best You page, make sure that, you know, you've had a conversation with them, they're still interested, they're still, you know, that you may even start up a new conversation. I know that's what happened with Harriet. How I got Harriet started is that I said, oh, we've got a new page, do you still want to be involved? And then it kind of sparked something in Harriet's mind, and she was ready at that time. So that was just a kind of a way that I followed up and yeah, but I had that conversation before I moved to Over, which is awesome. So we have a question for you.
Hang on, I'll just answer your question quickly, Harry. So will we have like the clean stay tips video and open the box call, etc.? Yeah, it's all in there, and feel free to add anything that you find of value throughout your Isagenix journey. Add that into a post, and you'll see a few posts that we've already put in there, content and everything like that. So just have a scroll through and have a look. You'll see all those posts already. And
you're not sure about anything, just feel free to.
And guys, that's the thing. You know, like Vanessa talked about having good quality posts and everything, but I don't want people to feel like they can't post something, or they feel afraid to ask a question or whatever. This is a page, and both these pages, about people asking questions and people finding out the right answers. So that's really, you don't have to, Chris. So this is something that we're putting to you guys that you're going to have to work out yourself. Do you mean Pathway to Success website or? Yeah. So, that's still all go. So I've actually put that post in there. We'll still use the Pathway to Success website page as training. I've put a post in there about it for people if they're open to sharing and just talking about how the page the website is a step-by-step guide. We didn't create any of the content in there, well, not really, but it's all stuff that's from Isagenix. It's just put in a really easy to follow guide for people when they first get started, whether they're looking to build a business or just sharing with friends and family. Anyone can kind of follow that Pathway to Success website, but not the Pathway to Success page. So this new IsaLife Opportunity page, Facebook page, will be the new Pathway to Success page, if that makes sense. And yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, so it can be kind of the same thing. You can ask, if someone's not really sharing, or they had and they were interested in sharing, you can still do the same thing with the Pathway to Success page with people that are in there, as you did with the Cleanse page. Do you still want to be involved? Do you still want to check it out? And then you can transfer them over to the IsaLife Opportunity if that's what they want. So we've got a question to put out to all of you that we have two kind of opinions on, that we want a bit of a discussion about.
It's either one or the other, I guess.
So it's one or the other. So did you want to explain it?
Yeah, so it was just around welcome posts. So Jen Schultz and a few of the other leaders I kind of talked to, they don't actually do welcome posts. And there was two kind of mindsets of thinking around it. Is one, welcome posts are absolutely fantastic for a new person getting started, and them getting that great first start, getting great support. People are commenting on there, and that's great. That person feels welcomed and everything like that, which is cool. The second one, which Jen Schultz and a few other people are doing, is they're not actually doing welcome posts in the health page, just because what they find is that oftentimes it can clog up the news feed and people aren't seeing the content. Most of the time they're just seeing a lot of welcome posts. Number two is that there's 4,000 people in the other page, and some of the welcome posts still only get, maybe 5 to 10 comments on the max. So I know it only takes 10 minutes a day to do. And if everyone wants to all buy into that, we can still do welcome posts, but it must be a team effort that everyone does welcome posts. And it takes 10 minutes a day. I do them every day, but and just make sure I welcome people. But I don't actually like doing it. It's just kind of another thing to do. So that's where this conversation came up around, is it worth having welcome posts, and is it more inclined to celebrate people for losing 5 kilos or being on the system 30 days or smashing out their first cleanse day or something like that? Or is welcome posts, everyone still wants to do them, and everything. So we just kind of want to open that up. I'm kind of like going with whatever. At my vote, at the end of the day, I'd go for not having them and just having more celebrating people for their achievements that we do anyway. And yeah, but it's if we're going to do welcome posts, we've got to make sure that we get a buy-in, that we get people commenting on the posts, and that we coach that to our downlines and our teams, so that there's a real culture of welcoming people in, and not just the same 5 to 10 people welcoming everyone, which I know that you guys all do. I see you guys all welcoming them in, but what's a page if only 5 or 10 people welcome everyone in? And we want kind of that culture of everyone welcoming someone in. So yeah, open to suggestions, and yeah.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
Do we unmute?
Yeah. Let's go ahead. Or if you want to write a message.
I agree. I think the same thing is that, like, feedback from some of my people have been like, you sort of go through like the initial talk and stuff with them, then you do like the open the box thing with them, and then there's like different pages, then they get welcomed into that one. So I do agree, like sometimes when you do go in there and there is only like a couple of people that have welcomed them, like I think that if you as the coach are more the person that does the one-on-one thing, I agree with that one. Maybe not to do the welcome, but then sort of to do like the praise where they've like had the results and that kind of thing. Yeah, I'm for that. Yeah, exactly what Ellie just said. It can become generic when people like, hey, welcome. you know, it can still look the same.
Yeah.
I haven't had a lot of people. Yeah, I haven't had a lot of people to welcome, but I find a lot of people are hesitant. They don't want to be limelighted right at the beginning. They want to sneak in the back door kind of thing, new people, and they want to see what's happening. They feel a wee bit sort of put upon, and they're not always really happy. Oh, I can't find a decent photo and all this sort of things. That makes me think, are they really keen? Whereas if they've been in it 2 weeks and they've lost 5 kilos, or they're feeling great and they've got lots of energy, then that might be something to celebrate. But celebrating them coming on, I feel a wee bit of it is a chore for us, and the people aren't always comfortable with it. So I've probably had half of my people I haven't actually celebrated with a photo and a name and stuff. I've celebrated separately. So yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyone else? Bob seem to agree. Okay.
Like if you had 10 minutes spare in your day, and I know everyone's busy, this is where I get it. Would I rather spend, if I only had 10 minutes that day, would I rather spend it commenting on people's posts, or would I rather spend it talking to someone new about Isagenix, or following up with someone? And that would be my biggest thing. But at the same time, people do love feeling welcomed, and Harry brought a good point of this community focus. People do love feeling welcomed and everything like that, but it's never, it's I almost, at the end of the day, being in 3.5 years, I'm like, oh God, now I've got to do my 10 minutes of welcoming people onto the page. And I don't want to feel like that. So that's me. I'll still do it because if everyone's in agreement, but I'd rather just not, if that makes sense too. So, yeah. Ellie?
Am I muted still?
No, you're good.
You're good.
Oh, yeah. Hi. I mean, if we still wanted to do welcomes, we could do like a bigger welcome post and say, these are the new members this week or something like that, rather than have them constantly popping up, which would just be another way to do it if you still wanted to do welcome posts.
Just have like one generic post, and you could
well, here's these 20 people that joined, and
agree to
but
these people.
I would rather celebrate and see lots of achievements than just someone joining the page. I'd rather, and I think that would be more valuable for other people to see as well, to be filled with all of these positive stories that are happening around, rather than the fact that someone just joined the page.
Because, and that's another great point, Ellie, because they were saying that Jen Schultz said is like, well, I don't celebrate. She said, I don't celebrate people because all they've done is really, signed on the dotted line and said they've started Isagenix, which is cool, which is amazing. But she says, I go to the shop and buy something at a supermarket, and no one celebrates me for buying something at a supermarket. I'm not worried about someone celebrating me. She said, but as soon as that person is 2 weeks in, or doing their first cleanse day, or has smashed it, or has got through 30 days, and one thing she said is, how do I know that person isn't going to hate it in 3 days and send their products back? You never know. I know it's a great, warm, fuzzy thing, and it's cool to welcome people on, but these are just my thoughts and just things that I've heard from other leaders and what they're doing. So that's my opinion anyway.
Yeah, and Sarah made a point here, is that should rather see results. Most of my people are too shy to be welcomed. They like to be quietly part of the page and then get results, and then the confidence comes later. I guess we all kind of know that through our journey, don't we? So, okay. Well, that seems like a bit of a...
Is there anyone else that wants to say anything? Harry, I saw you saying before. Did you want to unmute and say anything? Or?
And also, if you have any, she might be working. If you have any questions about it or doubts, or and you're too shy to say something on the call, or you're watching this back, just message us, and we'll be happy to talk about it. With the group again. But at the moment, I guess the general consensus is that we leave the welcome post, and we can try it. It doesn't have to be a good thing. But yeah, I like the idea of not, leaving them out, really celebrating people a bit more, showing their results instead of just a welcome. So yeah, that's awesome.
Hey guys, I just had a thought that I wonder, is it worth periodically doing a welcome when you can see that you'll be able to obviously see when the numbers jump and people being added, whether it's worth doing a sort of generic welcome, even if it's like a video, and just letting people know that have been added to that page if they want any questions answered or they want to participate, that it's open for them.
Yeah.
So that it's like not targeted at any one person.
So what we're going to do is just make up a video. Me and Lisa made one up for the opportunity, and it's a bit cheesy. So we're going to add some bloopers in at the end because there's heaps of them, which will make it a bit lighter and a bit more funnier. But we're going to do something similar for the health page and just say, hey, welcome into the page. This is where your journey starts, or something like that. We haven't really come up with what we're going to do there. And that's the first thing that you can tag people in or whatever. Is that kind of what you were meaning? Yeah. Perfect. So we just haven't made that video yet. So, and the last one took us 3 hours to make a 1.5 minute video because we were cracking up laughing half the time.
Bit of this as well?
Oh no, there was none. I think that was probably the problem.
Get Fletcher onto it.
Yeah, exactly.
I was babysitting and it took a while. Yeah.
But anyway, so that's what we've kind of decided, just to create these 2 new pages. Now again, I'm just going to throw it out there. You can do it. You can jump over. You don't have to. You can stay on the old page. That's completely up to you. But if we're going to move over, I think it's just one way or the other with the welcome posts and the the leaving people on the page. They can come into the page, but make sure you follow up and take them out if they're not interested in it or anything like that. I think that's so much more effective than just dumping people and expecting the page to do the work. So I don't think that works at all. But yeah, that's kind of it from us. That's all we wanted to chat about.
So if you guys have any questions or suggestions, like just if you want to say them on the call right now, that's sweet, or if you want to message us. But what we'll do is we'll add you into the pages, and we've got a cover photo coming tonight, and a lot of the content's already in there, but otherwise you guys can just have a look through, make sure you're happy with them. We won't launch them until you and Lisa have done that video, right?
Yeah, we'll decide later on that. But yeah, at the moment it's just sort of just you guys jump in, and then it doesn't really matter, to be honest.
Yeah, you can stay.
Well, maybe we'll wait until Monday and we'll just give you a heads up, and then start taking people across. But just making sure that everyone knows that you're taking across, that you're actually taking them across and whatnot, and just explaining what's happening. That's really the biggest thing to stop confusion. Yeah. So yeah.
Does anyone have any comments or questions?
Yeah, Sarah. So just people that are in just in our downline. Otherwise, it starts getting really confusing for us. Like I said before, everyone else has kind of gone and got a new page anyway. So we feel it's about time we did the same. So yeah. So that makes sense. Yeah. What people are you talking about? Sorry, or we can talk about that later on. But yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so it'll be awesome. Just bring your own character to it, bring your own vibe to it. Remember, it's everybody's page, so just keep in communication about it. And otherwise it's exciting times, and I reckon it's an awesome way to kick off 2019.
100%. And just hit us up if you've got any questions now, or if you're watching the recording back, just please reach out if you've got any questions. But we'll just add you guys in there now. So Hope that makes sense. Excuse me. And lots of love, and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.